Hello Publicity fans, this is Mark from My Size Hedge Fund, back with the Decklist of the week, which this week is an unusual one. It is from Mr. Hudson, and it is an Exile deck with the tagline, I won a game with this deck. So that kind of gives you the idea of the standard that we're hoping to hit today. It's a very weird one. It has Paperclip and Aesops to get some money and draw, but that really shines when you throw in extra hardware, resources and programs that make you money or give you a discount off installing Paperclip. Now, funnily enough, this is the first version of a deck that was later refined, but this is the one that won Decklist of the week, so this is the one we're going to play. Perhaps on Thursday we'll break out the Haley version, just to see how the two compare and contrast, but let's see how we get on with this one. Now, like the Nasir that I played quite a while ago, the PTD Nasir, this deck probably requires that degree of familiarity with it, which I, at the moment, don't have, but going to give it a bash, see what kind of potential is there. Hope you enjoy. So we find ourselves up against Hasbiroid, a classic. And opening hand seems alright. We have Sahasra. Oh god, I'm really bad at pronouncing that. We have draw early. We have R&D interface if they decide not to protect R&D for some bizarre reason. So maybe let's try this. I'm sure you'd prefer to see Paperclip or Aesops earlier, so perhaps this is a mistake. But as I said, familiarity and all that. Haven't played Exile all that much, but then again, has anyone? But getting the Paperclip out should be enough. We have one clone chip, which is something. But we'll see what we can do. Unfortunately, R&D is the server they decide to protect. Okay, they do install on HQ as well after drawing a card. So let's draw. We get... This is pretty good actually. Get cash. We get Dedicast. And we can put down a clone chip if we want. Should have put this down first. Silly. And now Hasbiroid has become much more dangerous with just the mere presence of a hedge fund. 10 credits, not a bad position to be in. How early do we want to face check is the question. We don't know what style is running. HB used to be the type that you could run pretty early and get away with it. But now, of course, you've got things like Brainstorm, which is very, very dangerous. Architect wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Wouldn't be great, of course, but we can work around it. They're kind of the most dangerous, unless, of course, they're splashing something like DNA Tracker or other dangerous pieces of ice. Yeah, we're just installing this out here. Probably a campaign. Let's make sure it is, or see what kind of thing they're dealing with here. Sure enough, Adonis campaign. I may be here now, but I don't have a lot of money, so I'm going to leave there for the moment. Hopefully find Temujin very soon. I do not. So that's all that. Let's take one for the cash, because we cannot find our other bits and pieces that we need. So hopefully Aesops will show up very soon. We can start selling off these bits and pieces. SMC would be nice as well, although memory is now very, very tight. So we may just have to run into something and see what's going on. Technical writer a little late to the party as well. Yeah, this is unfortunately just programs. But we'll get our technical writer ticking over at least. Now, timing your run against HB is always the most important bit. With the campaigns ticking down, they run the risk of having a couple of agendas in hand more than other corps would sometimes. So you can hit them pretty hard at a certain point. This could be a bluff, as in, I don't have anything in HQ, don't run here. It could mean that they're pretty confident. Well, never mind that then. Just as I was starting to sound smart.
Let's take a look.
Let's see what happens. Get them to spend some money at the very least. Or we'll hit vanilla, but it'd be good to know about that at least. So let us do the first, and then it's an architect. Oh dear. So now if they have a beta test, it's pretty good for them. So we're hoping not to see biotic in hand, but the ones that play Adonis are often going down that route. So a piece of ice, but they don't fire the other subroutine. Ah, there we go. Okay. That makes more sense. There's the biotic. Here's Aesop's. So now things are starting to turn around. And mirror, because this is the only console that they decided to slot. May not be the best one, but it's the one we've got. So we're expecting biotic beta test anytime now. And what they do with that then will possibly shape what we go for. So just money up. Intriguing. Let's Aesop's off one of the caches. That unfortunately does not get us through Architect, so we're waiting for our Mimic instead. Draw. Let's pop this down and sure, this is cheaper. So we can clone chip cache at some point maybe, just to get that draw, but then again we are losing our only clone chip in that instance. So we may be better off to put down mirror, run, get the SMC to fire on something. Of course it could be getting us into a trap as well. We've seen the biotic, so perhaps we shouldn't get too overeager. Could install this for free. We forgot 2 Aesop's. So I think we're just going to money up here. Next turn, sell cash, get this down. We can sell it off then if we want to. It is an agenda. So they're holding on to the biotic. And just Vitruvius at that. Okay, might be time to have a poke at R&D. See what we're dealing with over there. Let's get the RDI down. Let's run R&D. Eli. So we could click through these two, because we don't really want to be paying the hard way through the getting the paperclip. So let's click through instead. And the other architect comes out, so we will have to SMC for Mimic and pay through. But at least this takes some of the sting out of installing Mimic the hard way. And we will see 2. And we get a food for our troubles. And we see Ichi. And that is not good for us. So, if we want to do the Exile thing, we can use the clone chip here, get our cash. That might actually be pretty good for us. So we'll get that. We'll do that. Take 3 off it. We get a draw with Exile. so overpowered. Now, Ichi isn't actually a problem because we do have this, but it's going to be using precious memory, and it also costs 4 to install. It's going to cost 5 to break. Not a brilliant trade. Exile does have the one link as well, so might be somewhat okay. Presumably we're looking at Ichi here. So at least that shows us we need to run early. This is kind of a classic HB. Get a turning wheel, which could work out nicely for us. Atman of 4 is going to be delightful. Unfortunately, we just used our clone chip, so we're going to have to install it the hard way. But not the worst thing in the world, especially with this down. So let's use this to install this for free. Unfortunately, we are drawing pieces out of order. We would have liked to see our other money makers, but at least technical writer's ticking over. Now, next turn, if we want, we can try and click through the Ichi. Okay, just Jackson. And that will at least get it rezzed. Cost them 5, cost us 3 clicks. Maybe not the greatest trade-off. Atman of 4 is just good. These make it a lot better. So let's draw some more. We get Cybercipher, which will likely point at R&D. Actually, we need to install the Atman early, or LLDS kicks up the strength a bit and really screws us over. Let's get another R&D interface down. And turning wheel seems excessive at this stage. We could just take 9 credits, which wouldn't be all that bad. We could install the Cybercipher, pointed at R&D. It's basically sacrificing the remote though. But then again, biotic. It is free, so let's do that. And hopefully we'll get to a point where they just can't stop us. If we could ever find our paperclip, that time might arrive. Because we know the Eli is there, we can slam into it. It'll be plus strength because of the LLDS. So that works out in our favor. And of course they can biotic out here, and the Jackson makes it safe. Are they going to go for a food instead? Is that what's happening here? So I think next turn we're going to have to install, well, find paperclip actually, and install Atman. That's kind of our priorities. Because if we don't find paperclip soon, as the description says, we're kind of fucked. Don't really want to be clicking through Eli every time. Although Atman, yeah. What is the plan? So they can advance here. Atman of 4 isn't too bad. And that would at least get us through the Ichi for cheap. And with these out, we can install it pretty cheap as well. probably what we want to do. So draw for paperclip, install this, take technical writer. Not paperclip, but pretty good. If we put this down at 4, it kind of distracts them. We can draw and we can put down the LLDS. Or that one. They must have good things in HQ at this stage. Or at least something in HQ. We know about a biotic, but unfortunately we can't put too much pressure on HQ with no additionals. So instead we have to go for the lock here. We can take a lot of money. Oh yeah, that works. Oh, there we go. So a bit of lag, but we seem to be back on board now. This turn is just going to be Temujin, I believe. It's a lot later than we would have liked, but it gets us set up at least. So that is what we have to do. Cyberdex, that's okay. And now we have money again. Would have liked to see it earlier, as I say, but not the worst thing in the world. Now we're up at 16 credits. And still waiting on paperclip. Lateral growth. Probably going to get a biotic out here. Yep. And now we got to see how brave they're going to be about this. Only 3 cards on hand as well. Just a Vitruvius. So no beta tests then. So we should draw. We need to find paperclip soon. Let's run. We can't really cop anything, can we? I don't think so. Let's install this. Might as well put as much pressure on as possible. So it costs us 3, 5, 7. Who needs paperclip? I kid, of course. It would be much more convenient to have this now. So we'll see 3 cards and then we can run archives to make back some money. Yeah. Get a food. See a lateral growth and ash. Which we do want to take out. And a Vitruvius. Nice. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Just need to get the one more agenda. But them on 4 points as well makes things more challenging. Now with the foods, they probably need to seal or score 2 more 2-pointers, which works out really well for us. We could sell one of these just to finance our paperclip. Or it's actually better for us to have it. So let's draw. This gets us to install as well. Probably a bit late for that. Let's draw. Yeah, not great for you either. Let's take all this money and let's run R&D again. Might as well press home this advantage and hopefully find the last of it. We'll see 4 cards. There are probably agendas hiding away in HQ. Turing will be fine. Biotic, not great for us to see. Adonis. We will leave. And Jackson, let's trash that. Let's get rid of you. So, Turing, Biotic. I mean, not great cards for us to see. If they stick the Turing on this server, it becomes a lot safer. But I'm assuming at this stage they're just going for Biotic out everything they can. And now they've drawn cards to make this a fresh axis for us. They're not short of money. So we can run archives. We could run HQ. Draw, run archives, run R&D. Yeah, they have not had much luck in the draw. So nope, that's not good for us. Let's go archives to get our 4 credits. Get a face full of virus suites. And now we're running for basically the game. If we don't hit here, we are a little poorer than I'd like. D, 1, 2, 3. Admin is putting in work, as it so often does. And 4 cards. Let's see what we get. Vanilla, no good to us. Jackson. I suppose I have to trash it here. Turing. Beta test. Whew, just about. Yeah, Admin 4 against HP is so good. So unfortunately we didn't get to see much of the Exile engine. We got a whopping 1 draw off it, thanks to our clone chip of the cache, which was probably a bit premature. Where was Paperclip coming up? It was right down at the bottom. Fantastic. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway. The rig turned out pretty good in the end. But yeah, I'm curious to see the other variant of this deck, which I will probably break out on Thursday. But I hope you enjoyed. Come on over to Ice Hedge Fund for more from myself, and thank you for watching.